Hi everyone, this is LivinLovinLyne't. Shout out to Charlie Company 247, The Rock, Fort Benning, Georgia. I'm proud Army mom, so I'm gonna shout them out. This video will be. I'm gonna try to make it short. I'm gonna try to explain everything really quick. It's concerning questions that women have about getting into trucking. I posted a video this summer. As you all know, I'm a truck driver. I'm also a licensed hairstylist, but I'm a truck driver and I drive 18 wheelers. I've driven everything from cars to 18 wheelers. My next goal in life is to fly a plane and drive a train. Who knows? I go where the wind blows. But on a serious note, I had people asking me questions about women getting into trucking. I'm going to take my time with this video. I was going to rush through it, but something just popped in my head that really, kind of angered me. Something that was done to my mom. She got into trucking. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain to the women how to get into trucking, what you need to do, and maybe some shortcuts. If you can't do it the way that I'm explaining, there are shortcuts that you can take that will cost you nothing out of your pocket. Okay, the first thing first, I got a question from someone who saw my video on YouTube, but she found me on Facebook. And she asked me this question a while back, but y'all got to watch it because Facebook will add people who are not your friends. They'll put their messages in spam. And so her message, along with like hundreds of other messages, you got, I guess, probably about 20 of them were about going into trucking from women who had seen the video. I don't have very many views on that video, so but everybody who saw it had more questions. Her question was, she lives in a certain part down south. She found a reputable trucking company that is willing to give her paid training to get a Class A CDL. I don't know this company. I don't know the area that she lives in. I'm not familiar with the locals, put it like that. This is just merely my opinion. Please do not take this as fact. This is not directed at any trucking company until I get started on a story that I'm going to tell you all about that comes to my mom. But I'm not going to mention that trucking company because they have like multi-million dollars and they'll sue me, and I don't have any money. Not yet. I mean, I'm a truck driver, really. We make money, but we don't have multi-millions yet. But anyway, she asked about paid training through a trucking company. Me personally, I am strictly against that. I would not allow a trucking company to tell me that they're going to pay me to train me to get my CDL. Now, there are exception companies, and I'm going to give you all the exception companies. American Bottling Company, which a lot of people know as 7-Up. You can go into there with a Class B CDL, and they will train you to get a Class A CDL. You will owe them no money, but you're an employee already. You're already working for them and getting paid. You don't sign any contracts. You don't say, hey, when you get your Class A CDL, you're stuck here for another 2 years. It doesn't work like that. They train you to drive your Class A CDL. And when you're done, train you to take your Class A CDL and pass it. And when you pass it, you're already at a pretty good company. So you don't have to worry about all the extra stuff that comes with trying to find a Class A job because you literally are working your Class A job. But this is a multi-million dollar corporation, probably $1 billion. I'm not sure. Don't get me to quoting, but I know this is the route that several truck drivers that I know have taken. Another route that I've seen is, I'm going to give you all the easy routes first, and then you can move. We're going to move forward. Another route that I've seen is a lot of people who don't even have Class B CDL. They go to UPS. They sign up to drive UPS's package cars. If you drive UPS's package cars, you have no accidents, no incidents, excellent attendance, nothing that they have to worry about. This has to be a year after you've been union, though. They don't start your year when you start working there. They start your year after you've been union. A year after you've been union driving package car, a lot of people don't know the package car is the little bitty brown truck that delivers the packages. They call it package car. A year after you've been union in package car, you can apply to their feeders department. And feeders is the UPS tractor trailers that has singles, doubles, triples, containers. We haul it all. I'm a seasonal for UPS. But I do know that there are several people who have their Class A CDL because they started out in package car. That's how majority of UPS's tractor trailer, or what we call, I keep hesitating because it's a feeder driver. That's how majority of UPS's feeder drivers started out. That's how they got their Class A CDL, was through coming in, being a package car driver for however long, and then signing up for the feeders to transfer over to feeders. So those are two easy ways, and you won't lose money. You won't lose money because you're getting paid by very lucrative companies to do this. So you're not trusting some company that could possibly make you sign a contract. UPS doesn't make their people sign contracts. American Bottling Company doesn't make their people sign contracts. You come in, you work, and they train you. And then you move on into, and most people, once they train with UPS, they're not going to leave. I've known some people who trained with American Bottling Company who left after about 3 or 4 years. But that was 3 or 4 years. They still, got a good 3 or 4 years out of those people. So now that we said that, the more I find out about other companies, reputable companies that will do that and won't make you sign a contract to stay with them, I will be updating the videos and letting you all know, or I'll add it in the description box. I might not just do a whole new video. I mean, that makes no sense. But so now we're going to move to the route that I took, the route that my husband, soon to be ex-husband, took, the route that I advise people to take, the route that my mother took, but for some reason she did something else. But this is the route that I tell a lot of people to take. First things first, if you are unemployed, you want to register for unemployment. Excuse me, I'm going to adjust the camera. You want to register for unemployment. Even if you don't get it, just call in and sign up, or apply for unemployment. Even if you don't get it, you want to make sure you apply for it. When you apply for it, you then, whether they, accept or reject your application, it doesn't matter. You then want to take your application to your nearest workforce employment center. I think it's called Workforce Employment, Job Employment Center, something like that. I don't know what they call it in your area. We call it Full Employment Council here, FEC. That's what we call it. And I think it's Workforce Development Center or something like that. But we call it Full Employment Council. I'm in Kansas City, Missouri, so we call it Full Employment Council here. But Workforce Development Center, Job Placement Center, whatever you all call it, you take all of your unemployment papers and your ID and Social Security card, and you go into them and you let them know that you want to sign up for trucking school. Now, when you tell them you want to sign up for trucking school, they're going to put you through. They're going to make you become a member of the Workforce Center, which is nothing wrong. They're going to have you sign a bunch of paperwork and agree to certain things, but they get paid by the government to help people find permanent jobs. They help people find careers. They get paid by the government to help people find careers. They get grants from governments and private entities and companies for people to find careers. When you go in and you tell them that you want to get into trucking, go through their process, sign up to take your trucking courses in a community college. Find the local community college near you and sign up to take your trucking courses there. Now, what you want to make sure you do is make sure you have your permit when you go to enroll in that community college, when you go to enroll in their trucking program. The reason why I say that is because you cannot start truck driving school without a permit. The reason being is because you start driving the first day. They make you learn how to back. We had to learn how to get in and out the truck. The 3 points of contact of getting in and out the truck. That was our very first thing. They taught us the 3 points of contact first. Then they went over the pre-trip. We had an 8-hour day. Then they went over the pre-trip and they had us, each person, it was 3 of us to a truck. Each person did the pre-trip. Then we had to get in, because you have to get in and do your NCAP pre-trip. And you had to learn how to start, and you learn how to bleed your brakes and test your horn and all of that other stuff. You then, by the time we got to the last person, they were like, okay, now you're going to learn how to back. So the first thing we learned how to do in trucking school was how to back those trucks. We had sleepers with 53-foot trailers, and they made us learn how to back them and back them the right way. So before we move forward, we move backwards. But what I'm saying is your first day, within your first 8 hours, you're going to move your vehicle. You're going to move their vehicle. So what you want to make sure you do is you want to make sure, we had one person in my class who didn't, in my truck, I think it was one in my truck. It was one person in our class who didn't have their CDL permit. So they had to stand outside and watch, and then they got inside of the truck, but they couldn't touch, they wouldn't even let them like do the NCAB pre-trip. They couldn't turn it on or anything. So you want to make sure your I's are dotted and T's are crossed there. But that will be absolutely free of charge, no money out of your pocket. And if you are a felon, they actually give you a stipend. And some workforce development centers give you a ride to school every day. It just depends if you're a felon or if you're on TANF. I think they do something like that. I'm not sure about the TANF thing, but I'm not a felon, but I know felons who've been through the program. So that is your second option in getting your Class A CDL. Now I'm going to get to this point. You can study the test. There's YouTube that teaches you all the pre-trip and everything. And if you think that you've got it down, you can ask someone you know, can you borrow their truck and go to your local highway patrol and take the test? I would not advise that. My dad did that. My dad didn't go to trucking school. He studied the test on his own, took the permit on his own, and came time to go drive and back the truck, and he got his tractor trailer license. God bless him. God rest his soul. That man was amazing. My dad was Superman. Y'all just don't know that. I was daddy's girl. But that was amazing. What I want you all to do is to not fall into this trap that many trucking companies, big and small, are out here doing. They're telling their drivers, I will take you to go, we'll take you on and you'll get paid to drive and you'll get paid to train. But what they're not telling you is they're going to run you half to death. They're going to barely pay you. You're not going to be able to pay your bills. If you have bills at home, count it, chalk it up. And then if you get sick of it and if you don't work out the 2-year contract, because they're all going to get you on a 2-year contract, they're going to pay you to train. And you're going to have to stay with them for 2 years after you train. Mandatory. It's part of your contract. You guys learn to read the fine print. And if you don't understand a sentence, plug it into Google. But learn to read the fine print, because a lot of truck drivers are getting gotten over on lease purchase options. And I'm not going to go into all of that, but a lot of truck drivers are getting taken on a lot of stuff because we're not reading the fine print. But when you go to these companies, they're going to tell you, yeah, we train you. They're going to feed you a bill of goods, and you're going to think it's the best thing since sliced bread. And then if you do pass your license, because my mom she was taken to a school and she went to community college, but for some reason she didn't feel like she knew what she was doing. And she allowed these people to sign her up. She already had a Class A CDL. She allowed them to sign her up for a refresher. And they put her through the school, which they claimed that she didn't pass, so she had to go home. So technically they put her out of the school, put $17,000 worth of trucking school debt on her credit, and then was like she didn't honor her 2-year contract. So that's what you have to watch out for. I am into protecting our truck drivers because everyone sees dollar signs when they see truckers and truck drivers. And they have figured out the more than 1 million way to skin a cat when it comes to us. So you don't want to get into this field in debt. That's what you don't want to do. I got into this field. I did not have a bill because I went to the Workforce Development Center. They paid for me to go to a community college trucking program. Look around. They are out there. You might not have heard of it, but just look around. They're there. They're honestly there. You just need to look for it. And if you can't find it, contact the Workforce Development Center while you're there, and they can find it for you. But tell them you want a community college program. That's what you want. You don't want to go to somebody's trucking company. You don't need a 4-year degree in it, honestly. I mean, you don't need a trucking school is what, a month? And for the people who work, it's 2 months. In 30 days, you have a license. For the people who work, you have to go part-time. It's 2 months. I've never known anybody to stretch it out to 3 months. So the reason why I'm saying that is, ladies, very lucrative career. Very. I just had a conversation with a friend today, and they were like, oh, well, by you getting a divorce and you're going to need a man to help you out financially. And I looked at this person. I'm like, I'm a truck driver. I'm sorry, y'all. But most people, and especially men, are used to women needing a man financially when crisis comes. And I was like, I'm a truck driver. I make just as much money as any man who's gonna come and possibly help me out financially. I'm straight. Don't worry about it. I'm good. So in saying that, I'm saying, and there are different levels to trucking. A lot of people say, oh, I don't want to do trucking because it's going to take me away from my family. You can be local. Local is max 150 miles. 150 miles is what? 2 hours? 2 hours and 30 minutes? 2 hours and 30 minutes out, 2 hours and 30 minutes back. I've had days where I've traveled 150 miles and came back and was angry because they sent me home before I got my 8. And I wanted my 8 hours. But they were like, no, we don't have anything else for you to do. So, I mean, it just depends. Do not stress about not being around your family, because there are companies out here. And if I will do some future videos, shout out to Casanova Roar, because you all have to go look at his channel, Casanova 601, but his channel is called Casanova Roar. He has an amazing channel that schools you on trucking and owning trucking business in the owner-operator field. I'm what they call a company driver. But I am looking to get to be an OOP, owner-operator, because my dad was an OOP, and the freedom that comes with OOP is amazing. I'm looking into other aspects of OOP, though. I will explain it once I've done it. I will not put it out here until I've done it. But I'm going to school everyone. The first thing is find a multi-million, multi-billion dollar company that will train you to get your Class A CDL, will not put you under a contract. You do not have to sign a contract. Only thing you're signing is your W-2s and your local and state W-2s. You won't have to sign a contract saying you're going to stick with this company if they get you a Class A CDL. That's not how it works. If you don't do it like that, if you're unemployed or underemployed or whatever the case may be, contact your local workforce development center and see if they have a program that will put you through a community college Class A CDL program. They have them. We have them at almost every community college here in the Kansas City and surrounding area. Metropolitan Community Colleges, Kansas City, Kansas Community College, Johnson County Community College. I went to the one called Fort Scott Community College. It was in the Fairfax district back in the late 90s, early 2000s in the Fairfax district. And but it was out of Fort Scott, Kansas. And they have their actual home base in Fort Scott, but they were operating here in Kansas City out of the Fairfax district. They were the first community college in Kansas City to actually have their trucking program. Now, a lot of people have them. You do not have to be tied to any company when you get your license. Your license is freedom. Another thing that my soon-to-be ex-husband was told, which was a wonderful thing by his instructor named Grover. Shout out to my instructor, Dave Stewart. Dude, you rock. You taught me so much. I learned how to, do the clutch and brake thing too. Floating, all of that. I mean, you're a bad man. Thank you. But, Grover, that's where I was at. I was just thinking about how amazing I am at driving and backing. I don't think I can be beat. I'm really good. Anyway, Grover told my husband, he said, when you get frustrated in trucking, don't quit trucking, quit the job, quit the company, but don't quit trucking, because there is a company out there that will be your fit. And so that's what I'm going to tell you all. When you get frustrated with trucking, and ladies, believe me, frustration starts when you walk through the door to clock in, because there are some men who just believe that women do not belong in a truck. They think we don't know what we're doing. They think we don't know what we're talking about. When we pre-trip a truck and find something wrong, everybody wants to make it seem like we don't know what we're talking about. But because you've driven trucks, you know how they're supposed to sound. You know what they're supposed to look. You know what it looks like when a hub is leaking oil. You know what it looks like when your lights don't work. You know what it looks like when your oil is empty. This is stuff you're going to know. And a lot of people don't consider that we as women know what we're talking about and know what we're doing. And God forbid you're a pretty face. Oh my God. I can't tell you how many times people literally don't take me serious because they don't think I know what I'm talking about. And then they wind up finding out I know what I'm talking about. So that being said, start with getting a job at a multi-billion dollar company first. Do not make debt. Do not make a 2-year agreement, any kind of agreement to drive for a company. Once you get your CDL, it doesn't work like that. Do not allow anybody to tell you that they don't want to hire you or women are not hireable. We are the most hireable because they get breaks from the government for having women in their fleet. So if a company doesn't want to hire you, I always say it like this. If you don't want me, I don't want to be there. That's all it is to it. Because there's a company that's going to be wise enough to hire me because they know they need a woman in their fleet. That's all from Living, Loving, Lyne't. I always want to start ending my videos with saying, please take care of yourself. This video is in loving memory of my daddy, Lenzie Porchia Jr. He died from diabetic ketoacidosis before he became a truck driver. He was a very healthy amateur athlete. He ran marathons. He wrestled. He had a very athletic physique. He got into trucking, and I asked him about his weight, and he said, he used to call me Miss Nene or Miss Piggy. He said, Miss Nene, he said, I can't eat healthy driving a truck. He said, you have to pull over. This is graphic, but he said, you have to pull over and boo-boo too many times, and I can't afford to do that. I'm going to lose money. All I'm asking is that take the time to go to Walmart, Aldi, whatever your local grocery store is, park outside, get you some fruit, get you some vegetables. When he died, my dad had plenty of fruits and vegetables in his trunk because he knew something was wrong with him. He died from diabetic ketoacidosis. He didn't know he was diabetic. So this is from Living, Loving, Lyne't in memory of Lenzie Porchia Jr., my beloved daddy. You all take care of yourself. And just know, just because you're truck drivers, you're not a dumb truck driver. Have a good one.